Welcome to Kolorflow Conversations. I am Uakeisha, and this is
Tikisha.
Hey Tikisha. Listen,
Tikisha.
I'm feeling so nice and comfortable.
How are
I
you?
almost could lay back and go to sleep.
Okay.
I
Okay.
could.
Okay.
You all see, we're in a different setting, and I'm just enjoying myself. I told her I feel so comfortable and free,
Yes. The
airy,
airy, because I
airy.
was like, what does airy mean?
But sometimes when you change your environment, and it's a peaceful environment, your environment feels similar to how mine feels, like very welcoming, very peaceful. You come in and you can get comfortable, and it's not like
Makes
always
me
like
think
that.
about what's her name? And she said the aroma.
Millie.
Millie.
She
Yes.
did say that. Yes, the
When
aroma
she
is
came
very
into your
similar.
house, she was just like,
The
she
aroma is
loved it.
yes. The aroma is yes. It is very very similar. Yes. So I don't know. We are able, maybe because in the when you elevate your life in a spiritual way, you can create that atmosphere too. Because everybody don't have that when you walk in a house. So you know, elevate your house.
I think in all just like aspects of your life, you go through things,
Yeah.
and some people cut their hair,
Yeah. 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 I
so it's just
yeah. I
the
went through that.
different
Yeah. The
things.
different things that you. I think we may always be searching for that thing
Mm-hmm.
and not realizing that you don't have to do anything drastic
Drastic.
to have that thing. And that's what I'm realizing. Last week I was on a rest and refresh week.
I
I
like that.
yeah, I that's what I called it.
The R&R.
R&R, because my sister invited me up north. I believe that's where we were, girl. I don't even really know because I just was going. She invited me,
I don't
and
think that's heading north, but
is
go
it
ahead.
not? I don't know.
I
Somebody else
don't
said north.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't know either. But I took that time to rest, refresh myself, make plans for my life, um, write, journal, enjoy nature. And a lot of times I believe that we use vacation time as a time where it's like, oh, we got to go out and party, or just excursions. If you go to not too many times have I gone on a trip where I just spent most of my time reading or just going for walks. And that's what I did last week. I went to eat by myself and did different things. And I can honestly say I feel renewed. I came back with a renewed mind, even more so than I had before. And I know you spend a lot of time, like you get up and go sit by the water and watch the sunrise,
Mm-hmm.
even here.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of do that. I never was a person that did that. So I believe it's important for us to encourage people to take time to rest and refresh. A lot of people don't even use their vacation time. You think you're gonna get some points for, you know,
Yeah.
their job? No,
No.
no. And I did it at a time where I mean, I probably really needed to work, but I'm learning to not worry about money. God always got me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just, my life is about to change. My son is getting ready to leave the nest next week. So I was really trying to prepare my mind for that. I could be a helicopter mom. So I'm trying to move away from that. And I remember your experience, how it was when your son left. What helped you?
I don't.
It was hard, I know, at first, but did it get better?
Um. Yeah, it got better. It took some time, but everything that you're probably doing now, since you're finding yourself and step into a more spiritual side, you're doing things that I was already doing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
going down to the water,
Yeah.
relaxing
Yeah.
and journaling and all
Yeah.
of those things. So I was doing that then
Mm.
and reading my Bible.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only thing that I can say
That was
helps
helping you.
me. And I spent some time with a few of my friends here and there and some family because it was hard for me. I have rarely been separated from Jordan.
Mm. And
Like he barely even
yeah.
spent the night over to his friend's house and stuff. So,
Yeah.
it wasn't like your experience where your kids going on trips and just away from the home. I had never had that. And I remember going through a grieving process.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And see, that's the thing that people have to understand. A lot of emotions stem from grief. You may not label it like that because you're thinking that these people or whatever it is are alive,
Mm-hmm.
but a part of me left and wasn't here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I was mourning that. And I remember telling one of my friends at the time, and she was offended by it. And I can understand when you have the death of loved ones, and people saying because me too was offended.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember your sister was saying the same thing to me when my mom had died.
Yeah.
Not to
I
put
remember
her
that.
on blast,
I
dang, sorry.
remember that.
But
I remember
I
that.
don't know what her view would be today.
Mm.
But I remember that and I was just like, but it's different because that person is alive.
Yeah.
But where I am today, I'm leveling up. I'm
Mm-hmm.
learning new things. I'm
Mm-hmm.
understanding someone else's perspective that may not necessarily be mine when I was so closed before.
So you think that
So
before, where you
I
were getting where you would have got where you were getting offended when people said something that was a different perspective from yours, now where you are today, you can listen to
I can
hear
listen. I
listen
can listen. I
without
can
getting offended.
literally hear them
Yeah.
versus them talking for me just to respond with my truth.
Got you. Got you. Got you.
They say those three sides, like my truth, yours, and
And the yeah.
whatever it is. But I just feel like it's two. Me and you can recite this whole thing to somebody else, but we may not share the same part of what we're recording and saying right now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't negate that your truth and your experience in this room wasn't what it is because it doesn't match my story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now my mind is just so open to listen and understand and see new things because, like I said, during that time, my mama wasn't dead.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling my one friend who's experienced the death and grieving, and from that point, like, I can't believe you just said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then how quickly the tables turn, and now I'm in that same position, but
Yeah.
now me today, I see both sides. Because now I know that's what I was going through when Jordan went to school. I was grieving. I was here by myself. And
Mm-hmm.
just think of how many times have you ever come over here and we just sit and have girl talk and drink?
We don't do that.
Yeah, it's
We
not
don't
like,
do
oh,
that.
let's have a girls' night, let's watch a movie,
No.
come sit by and have a glass of wine. I've been here all these years. I've never done things like that.
Never.
No. So when he left, I was still here by myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's kind of deep
I
that
didn't
all
mean to
these
go
years.
on a, oh, okay, it's only been 9 minutes. I feel like I was talking for 30 minutes.
No, but that's kind of deep because as long as we've been friends and everything, no, we have not had even in my house where it was like, come on over, we're about to sit and have drinks and girl talk or whatever. We just never done that. And it's so funny because over the years, I'm sure we've had other people that come in and out of our life that did that, and they probably not in our life anymore. And it makes me wonder, like, um, Not that, it wasn't genuine at that time, but our friendship or relationship or how we are just has never been based off of, girl, let's have this chit chat, let's sit up and drink, and it's never been that.
But I was more so, which I stand on that too, coming from the fact of just us getting together like we are now.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I remember we the aunties. I remember the aunties getting together. But these as the aunties now, we're not, you know what
No.
I'm saying? And I don't know about you, but I have like my one good girlfriend who I know I can go over and know her, place like my
Yeah.
own and snuggle up on the couch. But that's about it. But
Yeah.
I never have really invited anyone into my home to do that. I've always gone
Gone.
and
Yeah.
done the visiting.
Do you know I've never really done that with anybody too much though? Um, I know I'm very social, but I'm also very isolated.
I would say we're probably private too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very nobody just comes and just chill at my house, or girl, I'm in the neighborhood, I'm about to stop by and let's have a drink, whatever. And I literally remodeled my house to socialize, and I never do.
You really did. It
I
really
did.
could be like
It could be the hangout house,
yeah, like let's
it,
have book club.
yes, it literally. But I never do that. Literally, when my children were on vacation with their father, I was just at home, just enjoying. I enjoy, and I never realized that until now that I really enjoy
Your own
my
company.
own company. And I don't think I've always enjoyed my own company because I was always trying to find something to do in my earlier single, newly divorced life, like trying to find something to do and always had something where to go. But as the years are going on, I'm like, I've learned to enjoy my own company, which is why when my son does go to his dorm life or whatever, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be grieving as much as I probably would have if I had not come to this place in my spiritual life. Because I've learned to enjoy
Now
my own
you're going
company.
to be going through it knowing that it's a transition,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
transformation, not
Yeah.
like a
Woe is me.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's not gonna be a woe is me. It's gonna be more of a, I'm very proud of him.
exactly.
I'm extremely proud. And even during from the time of graduation until now, even the things that's gotten on my nerves, more so than anything that's got on my nerves that I think he need improvement on, he's shown me maturity in other ways that I'm like, okay, he's learning, he's ready, he's paying attention, you know, and I'm glad about that. So I think it's gonna be a good time for me to pour more into my daughter, because with two children, sometimes it could seem like I'm focused more on one than the other sometimes, even though she's extremely busy and I'll be in
I
everything.
always wonder. I commend y'all who have multiples. I always wonder about that because and that's something else where I always be like about another baby. I always wonder two things, honestly. The first one, I'm going to love somebody as much as I love Jordan.
Yes, you are.
That scares me.
Yeah.
So that takes me to the second part where it's like, I don't know if I want to love somebody
As much as
as
yeah.
much as I love Jordan.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that multiples, I can't even
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
We know my brain work a little differently.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine the mental lectures that
Yeah.
I would be going through with myself if I had
Yeah.
multiple children.
Yeah. And a girl and a boy. So not that she doesn't get all the pouring now, but I feel like he's leaving at a time where it's perfect for him to grow up and do what he needs to do, because some of the things that I've really poured into him to prepare him for this, I wasn't working on her at the same time, because I felt like, okay, it's different. with a boy and a girl. You can't really, you could say some of the basic things the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But it's very different. I mean, even my sexual talks with them individually are different. I'm a woman, so I can tell her exactly how a woman is going to feel and what a woman should or should not do. Whether I'm right or wrong, but I give her my experiences. But with him, I can tell him how you are going to make a woman feel if you do certain or say certain things. You know, so my talks with them are very different. So
I never even thought about that part of it.
I can't tell him how a man feels. I'm not a man. I know how a man make me feel. I know how just general stuff I can tell him.
I guess now though, now that I'm really thinking and processing this, it kind of does make me think about me with Jordan and me with my niece.
Yes. Yeah.
The conversations. And especially as me being a single mom without Jordan's dad being here, it really was a different little plot twist on how I was explaining stuff. My conversations were different.
Why do you think your son is such a gentleman and so mannerable now? Because you taught him
how I wanted.
Yes, you taught him how a woman, because you're a woman, how a woman wants to feel. But you couldn't tell him a man's emotions because you're not a man. So he probably struggled on that side because his father wasn't here. My son, his father's in his life, so you know his struggle. He had the divorced parent struggle.
Right.
It's different. Right. So I think that when people raise their children, we all raise our children differently, depending on your story.
Right. So it's like it's no right or wrong because your story leading you to that path on how you're raising your child. How you're gonna raise your child. You're doing the best that you can at that time.
So I'm doing the best I can for both of mine at the time where we are now, where he's transitioning from childhood to young adult, and she's transitioning from a tween to a teenager, and we go through all these changes, and so I can give her the lowdown on exactly, you know, girl, this next you're gonna feel this, next is gonna be this, next is gonna be this, because you know. And the good thing about my children is they will come back and be like, you sure was right about like, because I'm not gonna force my stuff on you. I'm gonna just say this is what happened. But you know, so I could teach her because I'm a woman exactly what you're gonna feel, the emotions, the body changes, the everything. But with my son, I couldn't teach him that. You know, I could only hope he was getting taught that when he but I could teach him how a woman wants to feel, how you should treat or women in general, how you should be. So, you know, it's interesting because I'm only saying it out loud now but I know I never thought about it until I'm saying it now, is that's how I teach them. So, you know, I think that when women get offended when somebody say you can't raise a boy to be a man, I honestly think that's true.
I agree.
You can only hope as a single mother, especially if a father is not around, that the young boy to teen, tween, whatever that you raise will become a good young man. Because we can't. I don't.
I mean, and I'm not trying to even make it into something huge.
Yes.
Let me bring it down to as simple as I have to teach you how to use the bathroom because I sit on the toilet.
Yeah. Simple stuff. Yeah.
Like, let's break it down before it even comes with the attack on the bigger stuff. It's a separation because I am a woman.
Yeah. I think that
so I feel we do the best that we can with whatever resources we have.
Yeah. Good example. I was watching a short little thing on TikTok. You know, I'm always on TikTok, but it was something on there about LeBron James and his mother. She was a single mother raising him, and she was doing the best she could. They didn't have, they probably had less than us, of course, than, you know, we do okay. And he, as bad as somebody want to talk about him in the sport, if he your favorite or not, whatever, you cannot say anything about the family man that he is, because I believe that he made the choice that I'm going to have a family, I'm going to have my wife, I'm going to raise my children, I'm going to be there, because he saw what life was like for him and his mother without that.
Mm-hmm.
And you and women, men, we all have to make the choice. But he specifically is a good example to me that he made the choice. He chose a woman. He married her. Yeah, they got pregnant before, but he married her. He's there for his children. He honors his wife. I've never, you know, seen anything where he's been outright disrespectful to her, and she honors him, and I see that spirit on them.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it's perfect, because, you know, I've been married. I know every day not, you know, but they're making an honest choice to honor their marriage and honor their
Yes.
family.
Yes.
And with
Yes.
him not, and I don't think his mother raised him to do that. I think that the lesson she taught him put in his mind that this is the man I'm going to be, because she couldn't raise him, because she didn't have that. I think she gave him what she could, the resources that she could. Um, she talk about as simple as,
Which to me is still raising. Because
yeah,
you still training
you
them, you
still
still
training them,
teaching them
yeah,
up. It's just a different method.
yeah. She was a different method. Like, you know, she couldn't teach him how to be a husband. She couldn't teach him how to be a father, but she taught him how to be mannerable, to respect, which is what we do, to honor adults, to be disciplined, you know.
Or again, you're teaching what you may think.
But yeah, what you may think is right.
You know, so if I think that this is how a father is supposed to be, however I see a
Yeah,
father,
yeah,
then that is what I'm teaching Jordan
yeah.
on how he should see
He
a
should see,
father.
yeah, how he should see a father. And your son already got plans in his mind now. I'm sure the conversations you all have about, he wants to get married, he wants to be a parent. He already is, you know, adopting these in his mind now of what the person he's going to be when he has that. So we're not teaching them how to be men, but we teaching them how to be good humans.
Mm-hmm.
And as being a good human, you adopting these traits of, okay, do you want this life or do you want this
So,
life? You know, and we're doing the best we can. So I I don't look at it like I'm raising him to be a man. No, I'm raising him.
yeah.
I'm raising him. I'm doing what I can with what I have.
I'm doing what I can with
With
what I
with
have.
what
And
I
I
have.
am so grateful that I've had my dad.
Yeah, yeah,
I am so grateful for that.
yeah,
Like, and then the uncles and the cousins, you
yeah,
know, and I've had some good friends in my life that's been a role model. Even with the church we talked about, my favorite, they had a
yeah.
men's program. I had put Jordan
He
in the
was in it.
men's
Okay.
program. So I am just glad that even though nothing can replace that, he still was able to have certain experiences.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
You know, but again, he getting an experience that we didn't have with having his grandparents.
Yeah, yeah. That's the difference. Yeah,
And we didn't
yeah.
have that
We
at
didn't
all.
have that. Yeah,
So all of your life experiences, no matter if the man is there or if the woman is there, it's still just no guarantee on what
yeah.
path is that individual person, human being is going to take. We can throw in all of these factors and cook the soup up.
I'll tell you this though. I'll tell you this. We can throw it all in, and there's no guarantee. But I do share especially with my daughter, because we talked about the single parenting stuff. I think last episode before last or whatever. I do share with her and my son. I'm like, don't live with nobody before you get married. Try not to. Do your best not to get pregnant or get nobody pregnant before, because um, it changes your life.
And think about this too. Think about this while you're saying that. Even our conversations are different in our generation versus that generation. So that's something else that's getting stirred into the pot.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have those kind of conversations.
No. I literally, I don't think that I don't know what generation started talking to their kids about sex, because I talked to mine about it, raw talks. But my my mother didn't really. She talked when we got I said when we got older, because she talked to you too.
Mm-hmm.
But at the age where my kids are now, I don't think that we received the conversations that we should have, which is why I feel like I made the mistakes that I made. I feel like if somebody had given me the raw about having sex early on as a teenager, then I probably would not have made the choices I made uh, in my life. And I don't, like I said, I don't have any regrets about anything I've done. Everything has been a learning experiences. Kudos to y'all. But I just believe that if I had those, but I also know that the people who was born in the South, a lot of it was hush hush. Don't.
Yeah, you didn't talk about that kind of stuff.
It. So I believe now, with me having the conversation, not saying it's gonna stop anything,
right?
But I'm letting you know what this is the consequences. You know, you want to start at 15, 16, because that person is probably not gonna be your person, and then you're gonna end up screwing from 16 to 48. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That
16 to 48.
16 to 48. You know, in between there, you might think it's gonna be somebody you're gonna marry. Do you marry him? No. You think you're in love with everybody. Everybody you meet, oh my God, this person is so great. They the one. I love them. I have these raw talks and I have the talks of actually the physical act. Like, I didn't know what I was doing when I first started. I didn't know. It was no, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You figuring it out because your friends talking about it, and once you lay down, you like, oh, this is what you're supposed to do.
What? Yep.
So I have real conversations with mine. And I'm like, and you want to honor your body. Even if you ain't no spiritual or religious person. Let's say you just honoring your body though, like just giving yourself away to anybody. And when I say anybody, I mean you meet somebody, y'all date, and 90 days later, y'all screwing. 6 months, y'all having a good time, and y'all then have your first argument. Be together 2-3 years, you ain't no peace because you ain't living right, you ain't honoring your body. God not gonna be in the midst of anything that's not honoring Him. So when you wonder why are we having these problems, because you're doing wrong. I talk to my kids about that, and I wish I had that conversation instead of. I believe that a lot of church people back in the day, and I always say church people. I'm sorry, y'all, but you just hear over the thing. Don't fornicate. Don't have sex before marriage because it's wrong, and that's all we heard. But if you gave me the real lowdown, like this is how you
like examples of the consequences,
the emotions, the mental stuff you're gonna feel that don't go away. The same thing I felt at 18, 19 when I was involved with somebody at 35. I still felt the same way. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I was, because we're emotional. We're automatically gonna think, oh, he is great. He is, and then boom, y'all done, and then on to the next. I have real conversations, and I encourage people to have real conversations with their kids or their people. I have real conversations with teenagers that ain't my kids either. I do. Because I'm like, who's telling you? Who's telling you that you're not really ready for this? It feels good right now. It feel good when you rub. It's gonna be a touch here. It's gonna be it's gonna be a stick and lick, and then what? You're done. Sorry. But I'm serious. Like, who was gonna tell us? Because our mothers were kind of too sheltered to tell
us. Yeah.
My mother got more vocal as we got older, because then it was like, girl, I'm past
it's
that.
Too late. It's too late. It's too late.
It was too late. Like, no, I'm past that. Like,
yeah.
It became like a, let me tell y'all now, because I feel like I could have this talk, and I'm like, why did you tell me this before?
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure the talks that I had with her, Jordan was here.
That's probably
pretty sure. That's probably why we was having the talks.
Why we was having the talks, because it was like, oh snap, Tikisha done had a baby.
Yes,
that's
why we was having the talks. I started it.
You started it. You're probably right. It was probably like, oh, I need to start talking to these girls and let them know, hey, because her talks got raw. It got real raw with us.
Mm-hmm.
And it probably was because you got pregnant.
It was.
Man, but I goes back to, I want to raise good humans. You was having raw talks with Jordan?
Not that raw. I'm just like, oh, I did him a disservice.
Well, you were kind of young too, though.
Yeah.
You were kind of young.
Yeah, we kind of grew up together.
Yeah, you were kind of young, but I don't think that you did him a disservice, though. I actually feel like that a lot of the decisions you made protected him, because he's a homebody. It protected him. You didn't socialize at home, but you allowed him to socialize at home.
Yes, I did.
You allowed him to socialize at home. So, and I do the same thing. I allow my children to socialize at home. So, it's scary, because you want to be protective and hold them and just be like, "Ooh, please," because it's a rough world out there.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's rough. It's rough, and it's just getting rougher. Getting rougher. So I don't know. I don't want to be a helicopter mama, but maybe that's why I had them talks, because I'd be raw with it.
That's good. That is really good.
I don't know if it's because I didn't know if it was good or not. Because my daughter, when I was talking to her one time, she was like this. Like, I
can see even if it's uncomfortable, but I think it's good because it's just showing like there really is an open line of communication.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times that's the problem. The child, for whatever reason it may be, they don't feel that it's an open line of communication. Because I was super close with my mom.
Same, yeah.
But I never felt that it was an open line communication on topics like that. Like, I could tell her, like, oh, this outfit cute and let's go to the mall, but not the intimate details.
I think because they didn't have their mothers didn't have those conversations with them.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's just like the layers of the generation. And because I had Jordan earlier, I'm not who I am now. That's a little bit more open-minded than what I was then. So I don't know how he would be with this version of me.
Well, your next child.
I guess at the same time he getting this version of me now, because I told him the other day, I said, I'm sorry that I still mother you. I'm like, because I know that you grown. I'm like, but I just want the best for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think that goes away.
Absolutely.
Because I know for sure our parents want the best for us.
Yes.
So it's just what you want. Yes. Generation after generation. The best for your kids.
it's always said
So
that
we
you want your
all
child.
doing our best because we want the best.
Yes, we all doing our best. And I had to realize that because I used to be a little judgy when I watch how people parent their child after I had kids, and I would do my kids a certain way, and then I'll pay attention to other people, how they raise theirs, and I'll be thinking, why they doing that, or why they saying that, or why they always yelling. But we're all different. And now, how you said where you are now, and you can listen to people. I'm now at a place where I can respect how other people, because I feel like we all don't know what we doing.
Can you say it one more time? We do
don't
not know what we're doing.
We don't know what we're
We
doing.
don't know what we're
We
doing.
don't.
Every day we wake up and we don't know what
Girl,
the hell we are doing.
We don't. And people can act like they know, or they're the perfect parent, but none of us know what we're doing.
Mm-mm.
There are no rules. The only rules we got is the Bible, when it say honor your mother and your father. But how to raise them, it's a train up a child up in the way they should go. We all got our mind.
We all got our mind on how the way we think it should go.
The way we think it should go.
Yep.
The way some people think, I gotta have my kid in church all the time. I gotta do this, or I gotta do that, or I gotta have them in school every day. And
they gotta make sure they play all the sports.
Yeah, we all think something different, and you think your way is the right way. But we're really, none of us know what we're doing.
Mm-mm.
None of us.
Mm-mm.
When people ask me about how did you, get your son to, do this, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. I just be like, I hope you listen to me, and but none of us know what we're doing. Mm-mm. We don't. So if you think you raising your child the perfect way, kudos to you. But really, none of us know what we're doing. We don't, because none of us are perfect. So how you think you're gonna raise some perfect kids? Child, please. But I think that this is where it comes, where it's different. The grandparents treat the grandchildren different from how they raised us.
Yes.
So when we do have grandchildren, you pour into them differently. And you hear a lot of people say, my mama wasn't like that with me at all. Now these kids, you pour into them a different way. Mm-hmm. So even though you wasn't all blunt with Jordan exactly like that, them grandbabies,
I'm probably gonna ruin them.
No, you not. Because he probably gonna have a lot of grandbabies.
Nah. Too far. Too much.
You saying that, but I think that he at least probably want to have more than one.
One's good.
But I see him wanting to more than one. I ain't gonna say what I'm about to say. More than one. And he's gonna be a good husband. And you know why he's gonna be a good husband? This is my prophecy to you. He's gonna be a good husband based on how you raised him and how you've given the example of how he should be. You just told me something before we was on camera that he said to you. And that shows you that he's watching and paying attention. So you don't ever have to worry, because he's watching and he's paying attention. So the man that you have a desire for him to be, God is raising him up to be that. And he ain't doing it in no church. He's getting it right here at home. And that's not talking about against the church, but I'm saying it starts at home. So you don't ever have to worry, because he is watching and he's paying attention, and he is, of course, our boys and girls go through their trials and tribulations, but that brings them to the other side of, where they're going to be. And he's paying attention, and he is going to be an excellent husband and a great father, because the examples of what you've given him and of what he did not receive. What he wanted to receive, he's going to give it. So you don't ever have to worry. You don't ever have to worry. That's why your house have always been blessed. You've always wanted him to have a home. You got this house because you want him to have a home. You got this house for your son. You've raised him up in this house. And as a man, he's in this house. He take care of stuff in this house. You said you don't have to ask if you need something fixed. You was like, I don't call nobody. I'll ask Jordan. And he go in there and figure it out. And you are raising him to be exactly who he needs to be in life. He's going to succeed. I'm telling you. He's going to be, he already making you proud. He make me proud. I don't even see him all the time. But when you talk about him, I'll be like, girl. And you know what I really love about him is that something other people probably would be like, you know, is that a good thing? He don't stay anywhere that he's not happy.
He does not.
He does not stay anywhere where he is not happy. And he don't miss anything. He don't stay anywhere he's not happy. So you got to know that he always okay.
And that is the one thing that I won't say the one, but it's the most thing that I admire about him.
Yeah.
Because it took me to turn 48 years old to realize I ain't staying nowhere where I ain't happy.
Same. Yep. And that's in all things.
Not because I'm mad.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at you. I'm just not happy. I'm uncomfortable right now. So I'm just going to leave and I'm going to go where I'm happy at.
A place of peace. Yes. And that's
I may come back.
Yeah. And that's whether it's a job, a relationship, family, friends. If I'm not feeling peaceful in this situation.
A store.
A restaurant.
Yes.
Yes.
Anything.
If he is not happy, he steps away and he stays in his place of peace. And I admire that. And that's a lesson for both of us because we started that late in life. Too late. I stayed in too many situations and too many places too long.
Me too.
Knowing that I wasn't at peace.
Mm-hmm.
No, knowing I was
uncomfortable as hell on the inside.
On the inside. Just not knowing what it was and knowing what it was. And now I'm like, that's our lesson from him because he does what he enjoys and he'll do something that's going to give him the freedom to do what he enjoys.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that about him. And I'm like, that's a lesson because we always believe we have to be in these situations or places or jobs or whatever for
thinking that it's not going to be anything better out there. We stay in a situation thinking that it's nothing better.
Yeah, or that this is going to work out or this is going to change.
And I feel like when I say better, I'm not even necessarily saying a level up. I'm saying like the feeling of freedom.
The feeling of freedom, yeah. Yep.
The feeling of freedom.
The feeling of freedom, which is so important in life because I was just reading something that a lot of the issues that come to our body is because of a high level of stress. Cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure. A lot of it is because a high level of stress in that we keep ourselves in situations too long and don't move.
Listen, let me just tell you this. I told my dad the other day, I said, can you believe I still ain't got no car? He said, I was sitting at home thinking, Tikisha ain't got no car yet. I said,
you get everywhere you got to go.
And he said, you ain't going to get one, huh? Now you figured out how you could have been a millionaire.
all that money you put on them cars because that was your earthly desire to have nice cars.
And I was going broke. Now that I don't have a car note, I was just like, you was broke doing all of that stuff. getting broker and broker and broker and broker. Okay, because you swiping, trying to live this lifestyle.
Yeah.
And because I'm thinking the lifestyle is based on because I got this Gucci belt on when it don't even matter.
But think about that though. The lesson in that. Let me say this to you real quick. Your son was adopting that lifestyle when it came to cars too. But think about now how he thinks. He may desire that, but now it's not desire. I'm just gonna get something sensible for my life right now. You're raising him, and he may say, "I want that Hellcat," but then he say, that ain't smart. Let me just go ahead and get something nice and sensible, and that's the lesson. But we learn it a little late.
Yep.
A little late. We learned a little late.
Yep.
And now you don't have a car, and I wish I didn't have one because I'm like, man, I wish I could.
But I have so much debt that it's like I have a car. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like I was just been recycling debt, whereas now it's like I'm trying to climb up out of it.
But we teach
and it's so sad because it's just like I just said on the last episode. I have just filed bankruptcy. And now you in debt all over again for stuff.
We teaching them though not to make the lessons that happen, the mistakes we make.
And I'm gonna say this: it's also important to learn yourself.
Yeah.
So when you take time out and you isolate and you get to learn yourself. So how we was talking about the ADD and ADHD and stuff like that. So a lot of things I'm realizing it was just my dopamine in that moment.
Yeah.
Because my stuff was never for me to boast and brag.
Well, it's never a bragger, no.
But I felt good. So it was my dopamine.
Mm-hmm.
And because I thought I had money because I'm making good money and I can make these payments, it don't matter. So I just boosting and I'm dopamining myself up. Because, I would get stuff in the mail and I wouldn't even open up my packages. Because I would just be like, oh, okay, because the rush is already gone.
Yeah.
I'm already waiting on the next package. Because the rush is already
gone. Yeah.
But the more I thought about it and pay attention to how my brain works, how I'm learning, how I'm taking time to learn myself.
Yeah.
I see what my triggers were.
Yeah. And you're making the changes. Same with me.
And it's just 100 years later. So it's so important, like no matter all of this stuff that's getting thrown in the soup from all of our traumas, we have to try and do our best where we are now. And it really starts with self.
Yeah.
It really starts with knowing yourself.
Yeah. I just wish I could wish I knew myself earlier. But I'm glad that I know now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it helps us help the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like the generation before us helped us to get where we are. But we could take the next generation a little further than where we are. So your lessons in spending, it's going to help your son. It's going to help
I hope it helps every single viewer out here because it's just like, for what?
Yeah. And mine was procrastination. Procrastinate to do things that I need to take care of. Just like balance in my life. Like always put so much effort into like when I had children, it was all my kids. Everything was my kids. Like I was letting myself go, my self-care for myself. To other people probably looking on the outside, it was probably like I was just looked the same. But the way I felt on the inside was, okay, this not, I was just tired. I was pouring into, even when I was married, I was pouring so much into trying to have the perfect family that really I knew the family was falling apart because like I told you before in episodes prior, there was no love.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just pouring myself into making everything seem perfect and procrastinating on things that I should have been doing to make myself be where I am now. Spiritually, mentally, physically, everything. It's almost like you feel, I'm sure a lot of women, mothers, wives, husbands too, probably feel like they can't do things for themselves. You know, you can't, the mother probably like, I cook and I'm no, I'm cleaning, I'm working, I'm taking the kids. How do you balance all of that? And me now knowing how to balance, like I got up this morning and cooked 2 meals for my kids. So they'll have enough for today and tomorrow, whatever, running back and forth. So they don't have to stop and get fast food because, you know, I want us to take care of our bodies. So I'm like, how can they do that if they got to stop and get, you know, fast food all the time? So I got up this morning and I'm in there. I made two meals and I always keep salad stuff in there. And I put everything in the refrigerator. And before I left, I'm like, y'all got food in there. Told them what was in there. And they like, okay, it just make the household more peaceful.
It may sound a little cliche, but you know what I feel like the ingredient is?
What's that?
Love.
Yes, absolutely. It is.
Because when you're doing it from an authentic place of love, you don't focus on you're going, and you're tired and you're doing this.
You're right.
You're just doing it out of love.
Yes.
So you don't, all of the other stuff, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, so when I gotta get up at 3 a.m., yeah. I love you.
Yes.
I get up and go ahead and do this.
You absolutely right, because I know that when I was in the marriage and there was no love, I didn't feel like doing anything. I mean, I told you, I probably was throwing the whatever together, like, okay. But this morning I'm in there like, and I'm stirring and chopping and I cleaned the kitchen as I did it. So when I left, the kitchen was clean and everything was put away and it felt airy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And there is so much love there now. So it's like, and preparing for if I get a husband.
Not if. That's what you want.
Win.
Yes.
Win. But you know, win, because I want to feel that for myself now. So I have that to pour into him.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't have that to pour into nobody before because I didn't have the feeling I feel now, the freedom, the balance, the love for myself. You know, everything was just about everybody else. So let me do this, let me run here, and let me do this. So now I have that to pour into, and I have the balance and I have the freedom, and I know what to do.
Yes, I agree. That's how I feel. I know what to do. I think my main thing is I know to just stay calm.
That part.
Stay calm.
That part. I
calm.
Yeah.
Because that's too when you can hear from God.
And
when you're calm, you know, and you get a lot of clarity on some things when you're calm. Because when you're calm, I think that's what activates the open communication, when I can see both sides, because I'm calm, because I'm no longer trying to make one side right and one side wrong. Just trying to see the point of view and understand it.
That was a big deal for me, being calm. I don't know how other people feel about this, but I have no problem listening to my children too when they ask me to say things in a nicer way or say it more calm. Because you know, we all get our day where we're like,
mm-hmm.
And they'll be like, you could have said that a little more nicer, mama. And I was like, you know what? You're probably right. How should I have said that? And I don't think that we respect. Some people may not feel like they need to respect their children, but if you're trying to raise them to be good humans, I try to listen to mine when they, I use the word correct me and say, Mama, you know, you didn't really have to yell that. I would have done it the same way if you said it a little more calm, you know, because more so now I'm more calm. So when I
Excuse
do
me.
raise my voice, it's like you know, we
Because
turn.
actions speak just like words.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah,
really do learn from both.
yeah,
And my actions can teach you. So it's not necessarily how am I going to teach you how to have respect if I'm not showing you respect, or if I'm not
exactly.
having an example of respect around it. Got to be rooted somewhere.
Yeah,
But I feel like there's a fine line with that. And when I say that, I feel like parents should always have open communication,
mm-hmm.
but I think that children need to pay attention to the tone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
When you're don't like not neither party being snappy. Cause tone, that takes everything. That's even like in the text. Somebody can read it one way, another one, cause I didn't put an O in the K, or okay, Y, K. Like I can't keep up. I can't keep up
oh,
no more.
oh
But I'm
God,
just saying, so it's just like I just think if everybody is just common, open to have a reasonable
conversation.
conversation with
Yeah,
understanding each other parts. Not saying that we got to agree, but it can just be a respectful, like, okay, I get that. But as the
yeah,
parent, you're going to respect me. And
yeah,
it's my way or no way. Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But
yeah.
it's not that
And that's what I tell
I'm
them.
shutting you
Yeah,
down.
that's what I'll tell them. Like,
Because I felt
okay,
like I didn't have a voice growing
yes,
up.
yeah, yeah. I told you I was always
Because
trying to
you had to be
explain.
in the kid's place. So I
Yeah,
didn't have a voice. So we want our children to have a voice, but it has to be that level of respect as the
yeah.
head.
And I'll say that to them. Like, I'll say it more calmly, but I don't want to keep repeating the same thing because I'm not going to repeat the same thing calm.
Oh, I agree.
You know, but I
Heavy on
will.
that.
Yeah, but once I say do something and you don't continue to you don't do it, then I'm going to raise my voice. You understand why? But sometimes if you just wake up and you just hollering and call their name 100 times, and they be like, mama, I'm gonna do it. Just could you say
Yeah.
my daughter really.
And like you say, know your
You
people.
gotta know your
Because you got
people.
we
Yeah,
emotions.
she
They all
really, yeah,
different.
she really does not like um a lot of yelling. It bothers her, and I could tell. So she and I will sit and congregate about something because I'll realize, like, you know what? Let me go in here because I remember how, as a young girl, I felt,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'll go in and I'll lay her, sit with her, and say, okay, so how do you feel this should be handled, or how do you tell me what you feel, or whatever. So it is very different, and I'm that parent that I don't mind having that conversation because I'm not the one that's just gonna shut you down and you ain't got no voice.
Yeah.
You got a voice here. Let's talk because I don't want you to go out there and talk to somebody else. And then they be like, you can come talk to me. I'll help you. No, no, you come talk to me. I'm gonna help you. So you got your voice right here in this house. And if you ain't got it in this house, you got your Tia, which is my sister. You got Tikisha. You got our because who you could talk to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, don't go talk to no friend. No. So I don't know, child. I'm just great conversation today, though.
Yes, yes, yes. But that's the thing. It's so many levels to
It is.
just
Ain't none of us perfect.
everything. No, that's the bottom line. Like you said, we all just trying to figure this
We
out
all trying to figure it out. We all trying to do what we think is the best thing to do
right
for our
child,
child.
right now in this moment.
Yeah, I mean that's all we can do. That's all we can do is what we think is the best to do at this moment. So
I love when we share our little life experiences on here.
I when we started this,
I didn't think that it was gonna be this.
I did. It's never planned, as we always say. I I don't be like, oh, I'm about to go talk to Tikisha about this. It's never planned. Honestly, when we pray before we start, I literally, and I've said it out loud a few times, and she's heard me, just be like, Lord, guide the conversation,
Give us the
give us the
words.
words, let us help somebody, allow somebody to be healed, allow somebody to learn, you know,
Allow us to
allow
learn.
us to learn from each other. It's literally no planned topic. We literally came in today, ate some chips and salsa, watched last week's episode, prayed and started talking.
Talking.
So I mean, I I feel like it helps that it's a raw conversation. That it's just, you know, this probably is something that need to be said. We got a lot of parents that children are going off to college at this time. Children are starting high school. School is starting back in 2 weeks. And you probably wonder if your child is transitioning from a little kid to a teenager or from a teenager to young adult, you know, what's the
The
best way to handle it? You know,
mm-hmm.
join this conversation, send it to somebody.
Yeah, let
Send,
us know what then work for other people,
yeah,
their
let us know what
experiences.
worked for you, other people who have
We
children.
all just trying to learn.
We are. I mean, you trying to learn. We all want. We want our children to be successful in whatever way it's supposed to be
Yes.
for them.
And I want to say, can we say prayed up?
Yeah, yeah. We gotta stay prayed up. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I literally, I feel like I not just turned to the auntie, but even when I'm in the car, I just remember people be like when the grandmamas used to pray for you, when the old mothers used to pray. I feel like I'm becoming that old mother because as I'm driving, I'm like, Lord, thank you. Thank you for covering us. This morning, my my well, I'll start with my sister. My sister a couple of days ago when she out shopping, she grabs things for my son for his dorm. And she'll send me a text and be like, "Does he need this?" Yes, thank you, thank you. And then this morning, she she knew it's been a lot on me, and she got my daughter her dance uniforms for school, and sent my daughter a text was like, "I got your uniforms," you know. And then his other aunt, my son's other aunt, his daddy's sister, um, called and told him to come over, and she bought like all his snacks and stuff for his dorm, like, you know. And when these things happen, you got to realize that your blessing don't always come through your finances. Your blessing comes through other people helping you that's in your village.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So when I be thanking God,
Yes.
I thank Him, and when I do ask Him to bless me, He's blessing me through other people.
People. Yes.
And I am
Yes.
thankful to Tanya and Chantel. I don't know if Chantel watch, but I am thankful to them that they covered him in that way because
It lifts a load off you.
it lifted a huge load off of me. Huge load. And I just when I think
It
about them
come
old
back
mothers.
down to love. It makes you feel love.
It does.
That's something that just brought you some freedom.
It brought me a lot of
some
freedom.
space.
Yes, yes, because
that's
when
taken
I pray,
care of.
when I stay prayed up, and I pray all day. I'm talking to God all day. When I'm in my car, I'm like, "Thank you, Lord, cover us, and let Your will be done, wherever way You see that it needs to be done, which is what He's doing." Sometimes, girl, when I was on my trip last week, I'm sitting in the hotel, and my friend right here sends me a Zelle. I'm like, "What?"
Let me put my business out here. We over an hour.
But
talking too
yes,
much.
it just came to me that I'm like, she didn't have to do that. But I'm like, I'm just telling her, like, girl, I'm about to have a good time. I'm about to relax. I'm about to read my Bible. And she like, girl, I'm almost a little jealous. You know, we joking back and forth. And next thing I know, I get a alert. I'm like, when you ask God to pray and cover you, He cover you through other people a lot of times. So you have to watch your behavior with your friends, with people around you. You don't know who's gonna be that person that be
And
there
let
for
me
you.
say this, and what you don't realize if we connect the dots. Me realizing what my addiction was to the feeling of shopping, to getting the stuff, to conquering it, once I realized it and was able to work on it and correct it, it put me in a space of overflow.
So you can bless others.
So I can bless others.
Yeah. See? So I'm saying, man, y'all get your life right. Because we talk about how her brain is. Well, my brain be going into how I be blessed and how God is to me and how real He is. It goes beyond anything you could ever imagine, because the word that always come back to me is He's so magical.
Yes. Yes. And the thing is, it's like when I say overflow, somebody will look at that like I'm talking big money. I'm still in hella debt that I said I'm climbing out of, but I'm not strapped.
Yes.
And for me to know, oh my God, even if it's $50 left over, it's a whole different feeling.
Yeah.
When you living and looking at life differently.
When you look at life differently.
When you look at life differently, it's not even about a significant dollar amount. It's just that I'm not stressed about tomorrow.
I do not stress about tomorrow, and you ain't got to stress
about it. And
that
is the best feeling that God then gave me. Okay, wrap it up.
Listen, y'all know we can keep going.
Yeah, because we started a whole other conversation.
Listen, like, listen, subscribe, share, tell somebody, tell a friend. Our subscribers are going up every week, and we thank you for watching and listening. Now we want you to like the video. We want you to not just watch it. We want you to like it. We need to get it trending. We want you to like it. Well, trending more. We want you to like it, share it, subscribe, tell a friend. This conversation today is for all parents. Man, send it to somebody you know, a parent, and let them know that, you know, there's ways to help and different ways to think about how we raising these kids out here and how they're going to be blessed. So
start a conversation.
Start a conversation. We will see you all next week. You such a crybaby.